A recent article was published in EdSource titled Young and Homeless in America and revealed the findings of a University of Chicago survey. The survey, titled Missed Opportunities, Youth Homelessness in America, was based on random surveys of over 26,000 members ages 13 to 25 and represents one of the most accurate, wide-ranging overviews ever conducted on homeless youth in the United States. More than 4% of adolescents and 10% of young adults nationwide are living on the street, or in their cars, shelters, or couch surfing at some point in the last year. According to the study, homeless youth people are usually conducted through their schools, as required by the federal McKinney-Vento Act. And this is done by a point-in-time count. This count can oftentimes not be accurate because researchers go out into the field and individually count homeless people that they see. This is more a reflection of a point in time for that specific moment, as most homeless children are actually not on the streets. The University of Chicago study, which was funded in part by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and private foundations, included young peoples in cities and suburban areas and rural areas all over the country. The study recommends to Congress to invest more in safety net programs such as child welfare, education and counseling, and promote more affordable housing. Better cooperation between schools, the juvenile system, public health agencies, and other groups that deal with low-income families would also help, according to the study. High housing costs and low-cost wages in some parts of the state have left California with a child poverty rate of 23%, according to this study. The group found that the highest rates of child poverty are clustered in the San Joaquin Valley, Los Angeles, and the Central Coast, including Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. Schools in these areas also reported some of the highest rates of homelessness. College students are also affected by the high cost of living, and the study released found that 10% of 460,000 students in college are homeless.
And more statistics to show how serious this problem is. If you do not have a high school diploma, you're 346% more likely to be homeless. And if you identify with the LGBTQ community, you are 120% more likely to be homeless than those who do not. Over 3% of the California students in the K through 12 system are currently homeless.
So when looking at our class concepts, first we look at Kingdon and the policy window, the problem being that there are just inaccurate counts when it comes to homeless youth. And this proposed solution, or the solution stream, would be phone surveys of young people, since they have yielded more accurate results. And then the political stream would be affordable housing and the increased money towards safety net programs. And then we also look at frame amplification, which through the University of Chicago study, them finding a larger amount of homeless youth just increases, or it elevates the issue and brings a much more emotions to it. So this yields stories of both hope and decline. And as mentioned earlier, young people without a high school diploma being 346% more likely to become homeless. That is a story of decline, but then they spin it as a story of hope, saying that teachers, coaches, school staff, every adult in a school can look for the signs of homelessness among students and assure those students get assistance and stay in school.
And overall, this article represents the fact that researchers now have an accurate count of the homeless population, and many speakers without the article identify this as being a key reason for the increase in saliency on the issue, to now be able to sit down and look at the actual raw numbers and come up with solutions to identify the problems.
Thank you.